Peace, peace, peace. It's T.O. Clay Light Bulb Lessons. You are now rocking with the Orcas. We are in the building, you all. It is Monday night. It is August the 10th, 2026. Man, we're grateful to be here. We're excited. Hey, we listen to the feedback. Hey, a lot of you like, hey, man, keep it coming. We love the real stories. We've experienced some of these same things as you fellas, and it's just good to hear someone else, speaking on it and speaking on it in a positive light. And like I said yesterday, man, we enter with peace because positive energy always creates elevation. And man, look around the room tonight, you see nothing but truthful, great men. And I'm truly blessed to sit beside these men tonight. Today's my birthday, you all. You know what I'm saying? I turned 50. Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. I turned 50 today, man. Half a century. I'm grateful, and I wouldn't want to share it nonetheless with anyone other than these type of individuals, man. They say, man, look around your circle and you'll see who you really are. And man, these gentlemen has been a part of my life, man, for over decades. And man, we're going to continue to build, and that's what we do. So, further ado, I pass the mic to my brother, Stu Maynard. Man, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, again, happy birthday, bro. 50,
Yeah, bro.
getting to that age is not something to take for granted.
Yeah.
And I think Lomax said it last night. We have more years behind us than we do in front of us, if we're fortunate enough. So we're just going to try to maximize the time that we have left on this earth to make the greatest impact that we can in a positive way to help somebody, And we are certainly honored tonight to be joined by a name that's just mentioned all throughout, not just the Born to Risk book, but since we started doing these functions last week, Louis Alessio. There it is, the book out there, man. Without further ado, Louis, welcome, bro.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Stu. Coach Lytle, Coach T.O. It's an honor to be with you guys. What you guys are doing is absolutely phenomenal. I've watched every night that you guys have been on, and there's something each and every night. I wrote in my blog today about the show. It was the post that I made today, and being that I know all of you,
yo,
Nick.
Hey, Louis, I brought in a special guest tonight.
I see him,
and reporting in live from California, Southern Cali to be exact. And I told him earlier, I said, man, I know you're busy. I know you got things to handle. I said, but man, between this time, can you please just come on with me? And I'm going to say one name, and I just want you to speak your heart on what that name means to you. And that name is Louis Alessio. Nixon, what does that mean to you?
Man, well, first of all, fellas, hey, it is great to be on here. Love seeing all of you.
Yo.
Man. Golly. Got there's something in my eye real quick, so forgive me. But great seeing all of you guys. Yeah. So hey, Coach T, hey, thanks for having me on, fellas. Thanks for being here. He did mention that. He said one name, Louis Alessio. I said passionate, dedicated, and the hard-working person that I've ever met. Ever. I mean, and we Lou, you and I, we not too far in age, the start of Marine Corps and our time of service, but being a brand new drilling.
There's Murphy.
Yeah, he went out, man.
That's Murphy, being a brand new drill instructor. So I know what he was going to say. Being a brand new drill instructor, you trained him.
He'll come back in. Soon as I see him moving about, he's probably driving, but he'll come back in, man.
He is Old Dixon, man. What a great guy, man.
Absolutely.
You got a lot of love, Louis, man. You got a lot of love, man.
Yeah. So, Louis, let me ask you a question, man.
Okay.
How did you come up with the title, The Odorless Poison, for your chapter 31 in the Born to Risk Veterans Edition? How did you come to that title? I think I have a good understanding of it because I've read the chapter multiple times. But give the audience or the folks watching a little bit of insight of what that odorless poison means to you.
Yeah, carbon monoxide. If anybody's like, I had to replace my entire furnace because there was the coils. There was a thing in there. They're like, I had no idea. I'm not a mechanic. I don't know this stuff. And they came to work on my AC, and then they opened up the furnace, and they're like, "Man, you guys are lucky, with carbon monoxide and all that stuff." And but yeah, it's an odorless and a colorless poison, and it, over time, I mean, if you get a carbon monoxide leak, it can end up being detrimental.
Yeah, and
me not having any kind of faith that God was not at the center of anything within my life. There was a slow drift to where, I started out, I don't want to say a godless heathen, but, I was Catholic in name only. And then by the time I got to the end, I mean, I was godless. I had deified myself to the point that I was my own God.
And that's the odorless poison.
Yeah, and I mean, it didn't only affect me, my ego and being vain and everything else. It didn't just affect me, but it had a tremendous effect on the people around me as well.
Wow.
You're talking my Marines, my family, my kids. I mean, even now, it wasn't too long ago. My son, he got angry. Something had gone on at work, and he came home, and it was like listening. It was like seeing and listening to a carbon copy of myself, i.e. 10, 15 years ago. And I literally broke down into tears. I mean, it sounded just like me if I had closed my eyes, outside of the differences in our voices. I mean, just how he reacted and the things that he did and how he was so uncompassionate and so, filled with anger and rage. This is a byproduct of the environment, and I've come to better terms with it and everything else, and I try to make amends every day, but that had a tremendous effect on me. Like I said, I broke down into tears right there. I was cooking at the stove, and I just couldn't turn back around, and I just broke down into tears.
Wow. How did he respond to seeing you respond to him being at the height of his emotions and, expressing those emotions in such a way that reminded you so much of yourself or your former self?
I think at first he was taken aback by it, but I think, eventually after I composed myself and I talked to him about having empathy for other people and trying to understand what the other person might be going through. I was never very good at that. I was horrible at that. I never really, tried to. It was black and white, cut and dry. There was no, trying to peel back the onion to try to really understand what was underneath. And I think once he, he had to disengage because I don't want to say he got angry at me. He was just really shocked by it and everything else. And I'm sure that, He thought
Did he think you were going to agree with him?
You taught me.
so he thought you were going to take his side and kind of agree with him about the situation and be just as angry and match his emotions.
Oh yeah, I think yeah, and that, and I mean that's happened quite a bit with both of my sons. But I keep trying, and it's all we can do is try to live by example. I try to show them another example. I try to get them to understand, not from a Christ-like point of view, but just human decency, and having empathy. We live in a world that's, I mean, it gets more brutal by the day, man.
Yeah.
And compassion and empathy and everything else, I mean, they're becoming a lost art.
Yeah. Here's a word I'd offer to you, Louis. It's called dual perspective. And we kind of think of dual perspective as putting yourself in the shoes of another person, but it goes a little bit deeper than that. Having dual perspective means from the perspective of somebody else who you may be mad at or aggrieved or, pissed off, put yourself in their literal situation and see if you can understand how they see it. And it sometimes helps you adjust how you respond emotionally, especially at a point of conflict. Conflict is inevitable. It is going to happen. But because you and I don't agree, it doesn't mean I cannot forget that you're a human.
Yeah.
Our common humanity is the thing that resolves a lot of conflict and keep people from being so judgmental and so opinionated because somebody else is doing it a little bit differently than you are. And I'm gonna go back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to my brother Nixon.
Yes.
Please continue on the thread that you were on.
You were saying as a new drill instructor.
Yes, I was saying as a new drill instructor, coming in there, especially over at 3rd Battalion, hearing all of the rumors, hey, that's the Hayes Battalion over there. That's the hardest working battalion over there. You ain't gonna get no time off or nothing. They gonna slay you. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. Lou, us young drills, you was our motivation because I saw you work day and night. You was grinding. You was doing your thing. There wasn't too many praises going on. Nobody was patting you on the back saying good job. It was just, I saw an individual who was passionate about his job, but also at the same time, because you was the youngest one on the one that I know, you like that had a family, like whole family, and you was there. And then you had to be there to be, a father, a husband, a Marine, a drill instructor, and you kept going. Like, I mean, I know, we can call names out that they tried to break you. They tried to make you tap and could not. And there was days when you and I, we would just look at each other and I'm like, man, this guy's still going. If he's still going, we ain't got no excuses. Single Marines and people that's out here, you ain't got no excuses. You ain't got none. You came down here for a job. You came here to do something. And if you got an individual like this who's still running around circles and coming to work day in and day night, man, I'll tell you, from that was it. It was like, okay, that's what true dedication. That's what true passion is. That's what the true love of what you do. That's what it looks like. The sacrifices that you gave up, the passion that you had for your job, you teaching me and several that was behind me on what it takes. It wasn't about ranks. It wasn't about position. That's what Parasite tells you. But it was just, hey, show up and be there, and don't drop that towel, and don't tap, because you know what, thousands have been before us, and you was the prime example. So I'm giving you your kudos, man. shoot, it's almost been 20 something years, but man, look at us now. And it's because of all of us that have succeeded and have made it through. You was the example of hard work pays off, sacrifice pays off, and just doing your thing. So I don't think I have ever thanked you while I was down there, and you don't know how much you have inspired me. I know you inspired Clay a lot because man, when I was on quota, you know, you had your dream team over there. I remember when y'all called me because y'all had the Jamaican cat in your platoon, and y'all couldn't even understand the word he was saying.
Oh God!
Yeah, y'all was slaying the poor kid, and all the kid wanted was like, you don't understand. He said, get over here. I was on call. What's up, man? And I spoke to that cat, man, and that cat was cool, and y'all was like, thank you. But you know, it's just simple things like that. You know, we can go back in memories, but. No, I tell you, man, it was, you know, you was the prime example of that. And I thank you for that. And you know, just reminiscing on hard times like that, just knowing that, hey, you know what I'm saying? It ain't the end of the world. If you can do it and other people can do it, guess what? You know what I'm saying? Tighten your bootstraps on and get to it and let's go. And that's what it was. So I appreciate you. And thank you for giving me that mentorship. And thank you for giving me that heart to never quit. And you was the example for that.
Oh, I appreciate it, Paul. God bless you. I thank you. I thank you for your kind words, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you there being there to, you know. I don't want to say shared hardship, but you know we suffered together and
we suffer together, man.
You know, it was
trauma bond.
Yeah,
I
literally.
I always appreciated you and always appreciated your thoughts and the things you had to offer. And God bless you. I'm proud to have worked with you. I am. God bless you.
Same here, brother. Same here.
Again, if you're watching, you know, it does feel kind of awkward when somebody you worked with and you've known for this extended period of time talks like that about you. It's like, oh man, I'm tearing up, bro, because you can't fake what Paul just said to Louis.
Right.
No.
That's why we are doing these type of things, because of the deepness of the relationships that we've developed over the course of these years.
Yeah.
So T.O., Rob Lytle, all y'all 3rd Battalion cats.
That's why I infiltrated in here with that 2nd Battalion.
You outnumbered. I'll tell you right now.
That's why I want a shirt tonight, because I need some backup. Man, this 3rd Battalion kit heavy, man. What is going on? Paul, you talked about the trying to break new drill instructors, and I saw that. I told myself when I got in a position to be in leadership, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to train. I wanted to teach. Why am I trying to break another Marine? Break him for what? And I saw that culture, not just 2nd Battalion Hotel Company. I saw it all over the depot. It was rampant how 3rd Hat was treated. Lomax talked about it last night. On the senior drill instructor hatch, and the guy slid him a canteen and closed it. How you treating another Marine? And I always thought about this, bro. I'm gonna leave this depot one day, and when I see that individual later on in life, how are they gonna respond to me based off the way that I treated them? And I never wanted nobody to say they got screwed over because I was flexing on, you know, being an experienced drill instructor, and I'm a break this young buck, you know, show him the ropes. T.O., talk to us about that.
I mean, you got 2 examples right in front of you, man. I worked with Nixon before I worked with Alessio. Nixon was my heavy, and just watching Nixon's, it's the same thing I was saying with a Yaba. We all know it, man. Every hat has their own style. You know, Nixon's style, man, like Nixon, I think Nixon cared more about taking care of me and Ragsdale than the recruits. Not saying that he didn't take care of the recruits, because obviously he did. but he was very effective as ensuring, for one, that we didn't do nothing too crazy that could put us all in jeopardy. You know what I mean? And he mentored us, dog. Like anybody who goes to drill instructor school and completes a tour, when you look back, you tend to over time mature, obviously, and you look at the ones who really taught you, and Nixon's one of them people, man. Like now I will say Nixon would tell us to don't smoke the recruits, but he would be smoking them. So me and Roxdale would be mad because he tell us to don't smoke them, but he slammed the doggone crap out of these damn kids, man. But man, and working with Alessio, man, as a senior, that was just like Nixon said earlier, man. Like you can't. Alessio's the godfather, man. Like I've never seen recruits love a senior drill instructor as much.
Mm-hmm.
That was hard. Like Alessio wasn't no loving type, black belt, bro. Not at all. But I think his passion, his motor, it was so infectious, man, that them recruits, you see it come mid-stride in the middle of the cycle, man.
I learned that from him.
Yeah, man. And that's real. And that's what we've been talking about, Nixon, how we just see these things trickle down, bro. And then to get to Officer Candidate School, man, and to have the opportunity to learn from both of these gentlemen at OCS, we were all there together. Stu, you was there. Many of us, man, we were able to learn real quick that Officer Candidate School is not parasite, period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So working with Alessio that very first cycle, he kept me out of a lot of trouble. Like I said the other day, I could have been voided on OCS probably 33 times, bro. Throwing locks out in the woods, all locked together, Robbie. And I'm like, y'all smart. You idiots go to college. Go figure it out. Alessio, no, Clay, no, stop, Clay, get in the house right now.
Yeah, man.
So, but again, man, it's a pleasure, man, to work with individuals, that really love you and really take care of you, dog. I think that's the main difference. What do you think, Robbie?
Man, it's a beautiful, chaotic experience. And it's chaotic and beautiful because that sign, especially on Parris Island, that says "We make Marines," I didn't just stop it at the recruit, because those Marines are the Marines that I want to make, because the drill instructor in the Fleet Marine Force, and I know this ain't all about Parris Island and San Diego and being a hat, but while we're on the topic, I think that science and that art form should be applied to the drill instructor with just the same amount of passion as it's applied to the recruit, because the Parris Island is a learning station at all stages of life. I even learned more as a first sergeant when I went back. But when I was down there, I approached my obligation and my duty and my responsibility to lead that drill instructor team in a passionate and a almost strategic way, so that they can benefit from being not only on my tutelage, but I can also benefit from their experience, because we all came from different MOSs, all walks of life, and one area that if we don't maximize on that institution that we call MCRD, then we walk away with missed opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Wow, beautifully said. Let me read a passage from page 140 in the book. This is something Louis Alessio wrote, right? Louis said, like an individual slowly succumbing to carbon monoxide, which he referenced earlier, I was losing my capacity to recognize that I was dying spiritually while feeling increasingly confident in my own abilities. And I think that sentence right there captures the unique dynamic of what it's like to be a drill instructor when we, during the time we were down there. There is nothing more there are a lot of intoxicating things and things that make you feel really good, but when you say forward march and 90 individuals step off at the same time and you are running that train, bro, your head can get so big.
Yes,
that's true. Nixon ain't allowing that, bro. Ain't no way. Nixon rich them, hell no, bro. Them fools
But
gonna
see,
shoot you down every time.
hey,
Yeah.
y'all had them little platoons in 3rd Battalion. So y'all don't know what it's like to drive a 90-man bus.
Yeah, man. That's why they were so well trained.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were so well trained because it's like a teacher with a small class.
That's a good one, bro.
Do you see how what you said in that chapter, how it not only played out in your individual life, but it also played out and you saw it in some of the drill instructors, and then them not being able to flip that switch and realize this ain't how things are gonna be. Go ahead, Louis.
Yeah. Vanity of vanity, always vanity.
Man, Ecclesiastes.
I don't want to say I was vain. I'm not gonna lie. I was a vain individual. I mean, I had my moments, but yeah, my ego. You're talking about, I mean, as soon as you get into DI school and you get into blue chairs, I mean, they're already telling you, you're the 10%, the cream of the crop and this and that. And I mean, I understand it has a purpose, and it's not necessarily. I'm not gonna, say that it's necessarily a bad thing, but if it's not tempered and it's not, it doesn't have some kind of, guiding force behind it. There's nothing for it to orbit around. It can get out of hand. It can get out of hand, and a lot of people. All of us on the screen probably know, someone that their ego ended up costing them.
Yeah.
But, but in my case in particular, without having, being competitive and all that stuff, these are necessary things that we need as men and as especially as Marines. But, there are a lot of times where I think, and I reflect back, I was like, how much more, how much better would have been for the people that I trained and the people that were around me and the people to my left and my right and the people that I followed, the people that I led, if I would have had some kind of moral compass that wasn't, the ultimate moral compass, which is God.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I think you did, Louis. I can only say that as a man who worked under you, bro, in 2 different capacities. And I think that's where our relationship really developed, because we shared such a deep level. Because here's the thing too. Think about this, gentlemen. We all know it. We've heard the phrase that see a drill instructor on that island is like God. We've all heard it. It's no need to front on it. We've all heard, man, wearing the black belt is, man, that's the closest thing to God on the island is the same drill instructor. And the way young Marines, particularly when we get to that island and you see that black belt, it's very intimidating. Even so much to a point, shout out to 2nd Battalion, Stu Mena, Luciano. When we were in drill instructor school, Luciano came and sat on the panel. And at the time, Luciano was the only sergeant senior on that whole island. Nixon.
Yeah.
He was the only sergeant senior on the whole island. And like you said, sitting in the blue seats, they were like, hey, that dude right there, he's a senior, because they had nipped it in the bud for a long time. And but then fast forward.
My whole tour.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I remember when they got to Luciano, Luciano D'd up. Shout out to Luciano. He D'd up, dog. He's sitting in the blue chair, and Lucky Luciano was like, I'm gonna tell you right now, you come to 2nd Battalion, you come to my company, you come to my deck, I'm slaying you. So everybody just sitting there like, oh crap. It was one of them. Don't nobody want to go to that dude. It was a Carlisle type vibe, man. Rest in peace. empowered with the dang on Christopher Carlisle, man. It was the same feeling. It was like, yo, if you go to Carlisle's deck, you already know what it's gonna be. So we felt that same sentiment with Luciano. And gentlemen, fast forward, we get to Officer Candidate School. It's dang on freaking Louis Alessio, dang on Jay Edwards, myself, and Luciano. And but
on the same team.
On the same team. Now here's the difference though. You take Louis Alessio, 3rd Battalion. You take Jason Edwards, shout out to Jay Edwards, 3rd Battalion. You take myself, 3rd Battalion, and then you got Luciano. So the way we ran the deck was seamless. Even though Jay was in Mike, we're in India, that 3rd Battalion style of running the deck was seamless, bro. Luciano struggled because he's like, I don't run the deck like y'all run the deck. You know, Alessio be running the deck. I could, because you know at OCS, everybody's a black belt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody's a senior. Everybody been chiefs. Everybody been drill masters. So, but I used to sit with Luciano, and I remember the first time I told Luciano, I said, bro, when we went through DI school, bro, we was so freaking afraid of you, bro. Now we get to OCS. I said, bro, you a whip, dog. Like you ain't even really hard, bro. You know, and that's just hacks just being hacks.
Right.
We sitting there, you know, just bugging on each other, man. I love Luciano, man. We had
one
a
of the
great
nicest
cycle.
dudes you
man. And what did he do in the house? 99.9% of the time in the house, we was talking about the Lord, bro. So that's why I say Louis Alessio, like when we went back inside the house, you know, Marines out there would never believe what drill instructors do inside that house, bro. You know, and a lot of times, dog, we're going through these things that we're talking about right now, struggling with the family, struggling financially. Yo, somebody died back home. You can't leave. All of these different extreme things, Paul Nixon, that it was gentlemen like you, when my daughter, I got custody of my daughter, you like, yo, go be with your daughter now. Like, get off the deck, drill instructor. Go away, drill instructor. If I see you around these parts, I'm going to NJP your ass. Get out of here. Go see your daughter. Those are the things, Stu, man, you know, to be frank with your question, man, I really think about, and also, man, with Lou, man, like, I hear you, bro, but dog, you were so, man, just like the reverence that I have for you, man, as being who you were. Not just because of the black belt, but because of who you were, bro. And you know, the way you ran the deck, how you handled business. When we got in trouble and did stupid crap, how you still protected us, how you still put your chest out and say, yo, I'm taking that. I got it, Clay. You know, go away, Joel Strutter. I got this. The way you took care of Camargo, man. You know, those things, man, like I say, man, the Lord's always been in your spirit through your leadership, is all I'm saying, bro.
Yes, sir. Man, let me jump in and say something real quick.
Absolutely.
At some time, you know, I'm a piggyback off of you know, what Lido, Robert, what you said. You know, Paris Island, it's a training ground. But it's not only just a training ground for recruits, man. It's a training ground for all of us. And it's a training ground which taught us and to prepare us from where we are at today. Yeah. The struggles, the success, the hard times, the taking care of, you know, taking care of recruits, honestly, is the easy part. It's in a book that you follow by. You do this, you do that, you don't do that. It's written in RTO. Yeah, it's in the book. But taking care of drill instructors, you know, Stu, you hit it too. And I'm not hazing. I'm not coming here to haze these cats. I got to take care of them. You're changing the dynamics of things. And look at all of us successful. We all of us have been successful in our career in the Marine Corps. You took care of your Marines. You took care of your family. You took care of the people to your left or right. You had a purpose. Paris Island gave you that training ground on where not only you train recruits, you're training everybody. And you're also training yourself. Because in the chaotic chaos of things, okay, remember the Lord pushes you in chaos, right? So that you can overcome it. He ain't going to take you out of it. You can pray, say, I want to get out of the situation. No, he's going to put you in the chaos so that you know how to handle these situations. So when the situations come through, you already know what to do. That's the Lord working with you. And it worked for every single last one of us. Even me, when I got in trouble, guess what? All of y'all was there. I could call on any single one of y'all. You check in, even a simple text message, phone call, whatever it is. That's what we do best. So you know, you had a purpose down there. We all had a purpose down there. We didn't see it at the time when we was all young, naive, and I want to be the fastest and loudest and meanest. You didn't see it. But when we came back and we reconvened at OCS, and man, you was the hardest hat down in Paris Island. Now you weak in pond water. But you know what? You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Well, you like, wait a minute. Yeah. You wised up, you know?
Right.
Man, you was the hardest hat. And then when you become, you know, first on, say, man, why you having those Marines, you know, wearing PT? Because you know why? Because I'm about the morale. I have to take care of the morale. You know, everybody, and we all did this in the Marine Corps. We always made fun of the Marines that was in the wing unit. They ain't got no discipline. They too this, they too weak. But you gotta take care of the morale, and your mission is gonna be accomplished.
Yes.
Take care of the people around you, they will do anything for you. So we all had a purpose, man, and that's what it is. We all had a purpose.
Yeah. And as a air winger myself, I felt that people stereotyping and judging me. And then when they had to compete against me, they was like, oh, okay, he is that dude. Yeah, I am. So if you're gonna beat me, you're gonna have to bring it. Because I'm just as strong, man. I'm just as fast, I'm just as loud, I'm just as wild as you are.
Oh,
Don't let this airwing thing don't let this airwing thing fool you.
I love the wing, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we were all at Paris Island and at OCS, and we had a purpose and we had a mission. Roles change, responsibilities change. One thing I never tried to forget again: basic humanity.
Yeah, and it's very easy to lose that when you're in
that environment, especially.
In that environment.
Especially, you know, when you're in filth, you stay in filth for so long, you don't realize that you're standing in it.
You can't even see it no more. And I agree with you. I'm not dismissing what you say either, Louis. I know about God complex. I know wholeheartedly about, you know, when you walk on that deck and you hear that, "Aye, sir! Oh, good morning, sir!" How that feels, and especially reciprocated from that young recruit that you train. But what felt even better, man, is you walk in, "Good morning, boss," and the hats is up, ready to go, like you talked about, because you took care of morale, man. That's one of the biggest things. We talk about integrity, respect, and all that stuff has to be earned. Loyalty has to be earned as well.
Yes.
And loyalty comes from the psychology, from the repetition of looking at somebody, admiring them enough to replicate what they're doing over and over again, to almost, and that feeds you too. When you got a group of young drill instructors that you see are just burning it up, and you know you help contribute to that, that contributes to that God complex too a little bit too, man.
Absolutely. I tell you guys, I would have chapter 31 in this book as like an assignment at DI school, to make sure those young potential drill instructors sitting in them blue chairs who think they know what they're getting themselves into, read Louis Alessio's chapter, because the odorless poison all around that place. It's all around OCS. Matter of fact, it goes even beyond that. When you start talking about people in certain billets, and they start being around and carrying an odorless poison because they work for a colonel, or they work for a 1-star or a 2-star.
Yeah, bro.
Very dangerous.
Absolutely.
Because when that aura, you have to go back home and be Louis Alessio, the man. Now, let me turn to this other part. This is exactly where I found myself shortly after retirement, in a basement with a rifle, a single round to load into it, and a conviction that the logical conclusion to a life of self-authorship was to write my own ending. That is the danger of the odorless poison. Talk to us, Louis.
Yeah, I mean, I eventually, once I got, once I retired, and reality starts hitting you in the face. You get so used to the role, you get so used to, this and that, and being removed from that, and then it was humbling. It was humbling, and it was. Not having any, I don't want to say I didn't have a sense of purpose, but I felt like I lost my sense of purpose. I mean, I still had a purpose. I was a father. I was a husband, but I was feeling so, self-absorbed, because I mean, that all stemmed from me, making myself my own deity, that, here I am. I don't have this, this purpose anymore. And my family was affected by my retirement, and I wasn't foreseeing that happening, because I mean, it was hard for them too, because I mean, they were in a military environment and everything else. And, it was easy for my kids to make friends, at their schools, and within the military community, because there was shared hardship, and the kids had something that was in common. I got like 13 kids live in my neighborhood, and it was all no vacancy signs. They, these kids grew up together. I mean, they, probably nursed at the same breast, growing up. They don't know my son from Adam, but that's neither here nor there. But it was tough. It was tough on my family transitioning. So I mean, it was a lot of things that just and then on top of that, I started coming after I broke away from that environment, and I wasn't having somebody blow my head up all the time, and I wasn't doing it myself. Reality set in real quick, and I started to take stock of things, and I wasn't looking at things through rose-colored glasses, that's for sure. And that's where I ended up. And by the grace of a loving God and divine intervention, at that moment, I was stopped in my tracks.
Wow.
Man. Louis, can I ask you a question, bro?
Yeah.
Do you remember you remember, Louis, when your brother, who's also a Marine, that was on recruiting duty, came down to the island?
Yep.
And stayed with us for a while. Obviously he was on deck with us, and I had a conversation with him, and he told me straight up, he was like, I'm down here for obvious reasons, but I'm just happy to be with my brother. So my question for you, when you were in the basement and you were thinking about ending it, bro, do you think it's all the way live things that you dealt with on the depot? Do you think it's childhood? Do you think it's just a culmination of it all? Because I saw the strip that you had for your brother, if that makes sense. The strip that you displayed for your brother, and he outranked you. He was a gunnery sergeant at the time, and I think you were a staff sergeant.
No, staff sergeant, yeah.
He was going through the rough side of the mountain on recruiting duty.
Yeah.
Which
awesome.
Being out here, yeah, bro. Being a sergeant major at a RS, bro. Hey, now I really understand what your brother experienced. And
if I had a choice between that and drill instructor and recruiting, I'd pick drill instructor 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I kind of like
me too.
I enjoy being a hat, though.
Me too. 100%.
My psychotic self.
So that's what I'm saying, Louis. When you were in that moment of the basement, all the things that's going on, do you think it was a culminating thing from childhood all the way up, or do you think it was more isolated toward your time in service?
I think it was a culmination of the person I had become. Not to say that. I mean, there was a lot of things, especially once I got into adolescence. I think that led me up to turning from my faith and walking away from it. But there was a lot of things, especially. I don't want to say toward the latter half of my career, but there's no other way to say it. The first half of my career, it had to have been the entirety. I mean, yeah, there was things. Like I said, I don't want to make it seem like I was hazing people, but there are moments. There are a tremendous amount of moments where I would have done things a lot differently. Dealing with others and other people and things like that.
Wow. Man, I'll tell you, I had to read that paragraph a couple of times because it resonated with me so much, because I think we all personally know somebody who was in that exact moment, and they chose to make the decision. And you didn't. That's what touched me so much, and I'm so thankful that you are as transparent about those struggles that you went through during that time, because there is somebody out there right now who feels exactly like you felt, Louis, and they need to know it's okay to feel that way. How you respond to those emotions and those feelings is more important, so that you can stay on this side, because our time on this earth is already very limited.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And we don't need to do anything to speed it up.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Stick around as long as you can, because Paul Nixon got a wife and kids. T.O. Clay got a wife and kids. Robbie Lytle got a wife, a lot of kids.
Yeah, you really don't.
Go ahead.
You don't know what tomorrow's going to hold for you, what God has planned for you.
Right.
Like if you would have told me at the end of my career that I would have been an aspirant for the diaconate, the permanent diaconate of the Catholic Church, I would have been, one class away from my master's degree. And I'm not saying this stuff to toot my own horn.
No, it's amazing, man.
I was not, I was, for God's sake, I mean, my basement had nothing but Michael Myers masks and all kinds of other stuff. I mean, I wasn't exactly,
wow,
proclaiming and advertising Christ in my house in any facet whatsoever. Man. But I mean, here I am. I mean, you don't know what tomorrow is going to hold for you.
Man.
Wow. Robbie,
it's just the beginning. I mean, my story hasn't been completely written yet. It's not finished yet. Yeah. But I took me surrendering to God and surrendering and saying, God, what, guide me, take this burden off my back, show me the way, Andrew Garcia,
Andy, shut up, Andy.
The title of his book is "Lord, How May I Serve You?"
Right.
And that's something I start my day every day with that. How can I serve you? What do you have for me?
Yeah.
I mean, finding God has had a tremendous effect on my life.
Yeah.
Man, that's amazing to hear, man.
Robbie, hearing what Louis just said and your journey towards getting your doctoral degree, talk to us about what does that mean to you? Hearing Louis' journey and how God was at the center of his eventual turnaround. You studying and doing the work that you're doing, getting ready to, start your dissertation. What does that mean to you?
Man, the first thing that comes to mind is I'm so glad that Louis is still here.
Absolutely.
But,
you know what? I have the wonderful thing about God is God can work through secondary causes. Okay. God is not restricted by, he'll work through other people. And one of the people that he worked through, the reason I'm sitting here is his picture's right underneath mine right now. And then the other one's Boss Blaine.
Big Boss.
They both contacted me the same moment, the same time, on the same day, within seconds of each other.
You know that's divine.
That's divine.
There's no other way. There's no other way to explain that.
Yeah, bro. That's how God works, bro. That's how he works, Louis, because think about it, man. Like
I was at the cusp. I was very, very close to just being done.
And Robbie didn't know it. Big Boss Ross didn't know it, bro. It's just the spirit. Because we operate in the natural, we operate in the carnal, but then there's the spirit. You know what I mean? And same thing, 2 nights ago, we had Anthony Cutno on. I don't know why, man. I mean, I know why, but I don't know why. I just said, man, I'm going to call Cutno.
Yeah.
And when I called Cutno, he was about to end it, bro. He literally, he doesn't mind me sharing it. He doesn't like to really talk about it because he doesn't remember a lot from that night. But dog, he had laid down in front of the couch at his sister's house. He had the pistol. You know what I'm saying? And he said, I put the pillow over my head to try to muffle it so my sister upstairs wouldn't hear the gunshot go off, bro. And he said, man, and out of nowhere, you called, Sergeant Major. And and what's crazy, he said that his sister had come down to check on him, and he took the pistol and slid it up under the couch.
Yeah, man, the shame.
And she was like, why are you on the floor? And he's like, oh, my back. You know, he was giving her every reason because he was gonna go through. And dog, I promise to God, bro, I called him and he told me. That was the difference, bro. He told me, man, what he was experiencing in that moment. He's crying and and I told him, I said, hey, listen, man, 2 days from now, there's this gentleman named Dr. Oliver T. Reed, and he's having a conference called the He-Man Conference here in Atlanta. I said, bro, I've trained you, I've led you, I've guided you as a sergeant major. Everything Marine Corps, bro, that I could give you, I gave it to you, bro. I'm tapped out. I can't give you nothing else, Marine Corps. I said, but dog, what I'm telling you right now is the cheat code, bro. And you just got to believe me, bro. Just come. And dog, he came. And 2 nights ago, just being with him, and it's the same principle here. It's like, bro, why did Robbie Lytle and Ross Blaine call you in the hour, bro, where you was about to end it, Louis? Because I'm gonna be real. I saw you on Facebook after you retired with the Michael Myers. I thought you just loved Michael Myers, dude. I was like, yo, just like people love Star Wars, people love, I love hip hop. I love hip hop. We same thing. I was like, yo, Louis loves Michael Myers.
Yeah.
It's
around myself like nothing but darkness, man.
It's funny how God he put the hand in and snatched you back and said, nah.
Not today.
You know what I'm saying? Not today. Like, man.
And that's what my work has taught me, man, to answer your question, Stu, man. My educational journey, man. Moving up, I'm working in faith and mental health integration. And the biggest sticking point that I think that my studies and my research and analysis is taught me is mental health is a continuum. You know what I mean? You just like we talk about the, operational risk management from green to red, you know what I mean? Or vice versa. Mental health's the same thing. Mental health and mental illness, in fact, are two different. Mental health, everybody has mental health. It's a point of where you are on the continuum. A mental illness is a diagnosed clinical something that you got. So just knowing that kind of helps you separate it, man. Because the mind, we always say it's a terrible thing to waste, but the mind itself has to be PT, man. You got to exercise your mind every day, and you do it through reading, you do it through focus, you do it through prayer, especially. Talking to God is the key, and that's when the clarity comes. Those still moments.
Yeah.
Man, this is I had no idea. Robbie and Ross called you in this moment.
Yeah.
When you were about, that is insane.
I was already in my basement. I'd had a rifle was laying beside me, and man,
I'm sorry, man.
I was listening to all because I'm a Beatles fanatic, so I decided my last moment was going to be listening to all the Beatles albums, and I had almost finished all of them when they called. Once I finished them all, I was going to do it.
Man, that would have been a sad day, Lou.
Oh, bro,
right now, bro.
Man, that would have been like, bro, like
And that's what we're telling y'all out there. Anybody who's listening, anybody you think might be going through some turmoil on the mental health continuum, pass this to them and let them know that there's a bright day after every dark night, man.
Yeah.
God has a plan, and all you have to do is start executing His will.
Yeah. And if you get that intuition and somebody comes on your mind, comes across your heart, call them. Send them a text.
Because you never
know.
Yeah, when was it? Was it last night or I think it was last night, Jonathan Lomax. They said we're really, really poor at reaching out to each other and communicating with one another. We're really bad about reaching out and knowing that. And we know, I know I probably could have called anybody on this screen right now and the call would have been taken. We know we get past that. We have to, and I think that, again, I'm not a mental health professional by any means, and I would never claim to be, but I think, and I can't speak for what the Marine Corps is doing now because I don't know. I've been out retired for almost 6 years now, but
looking good.
There's a lot. I mean, start advocating with them young Marines and start. I guess we do in a way, but I don't know. Maybe. Again.
There's no answer. The answer is.
I mean, it's a complex problem.
No, bro. There is an answer.
There's an answer.
It's what we're doing right now.
It's what we're doing right freaking now.
That's
and
right.
we all of us, dog, E8 to E9s. Man, we sit in bukus, hundreds of meetings about that very thing.
Yes.
And we can sit there. We can sit there, the CG, the colonel, whoever, bro. I've been looked in the face just like you gentlemen. How do we stop it? And man, it's like I'm sitting there thinking the only way to stop it is God. That's the only way, bro. Now, I'm not saying that we just totally disregard the continuum, like Robbie's talking about. The green,
the work,
the yellow, the orange, the red. We know where Marines are falling, but again, dog, Louis Alessio, bro, was in the basement. Christina Santino, hey, bro, they don't have a clue.
No, my wife was right above me.
Come on, bro. And if he would have did it, Robbie Lytle, dog, it says it right here, bro. Where's it at, man? Let me see this. If he would have did it, man, where's it at, bro? I just had my thumb in it, man. I didn't. Man. Bro, basically, you didn't do it, but there is an answer, man. And that answer doesn't get talked about a lot of times.
It's presence.
It says right here, bro. It says, when I arrived at India Company, 3rd Recruit Training Battalion, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Paris Island, in the spring of 2003, I was a newly minted DI, affectionately known as Nick. Ross and Robert were already legends within the recruit training regimen. They were strict, demanding, and utterly unforgiving. But every now and then, in the middle of all that fire, you'd catch a flash of something like mercy, the kind that only appeared when a man had truly reached his limit. They took ownership of the company with a seriousness that bordered on familial. It was less a unit and more a tribe, a brotherhood forged in sweat, sand, and relentless expectation. Many resented, check this out, fellas. Many resented their methods, the pressure, the impossible standards, the blunt criticism, the exhaustion that never seemed to end. I would be lying if I said I never muttered a silent, a silent little cuss word behind their backs. But even in my immaturity, I sensed something different in them. Here we go. Their toughness was not cruelty. Their pressure was not pettiness. Their correction was not ego. It was formation. They were forging us into something stronger, more resilient, more capable than we believed possible. Their authority was ordered toward a noble end, creating honorable DIs and resilient men. This realization planted the first seeds of respect seeds that would grow into mentorship and eventually into brotherhood, bro.
And here we are today.
Louis said it. I know I could have called any one of you, and y'all would have gotten in the car and drove to freaking Hubbard. Y'all would have got on a plane from wherever you are, because we all know how deep the brotherhood and the love that we have. And that's extended beyond battalions. You know, it's extended beyond companies. We do the same with you, Stu. We do the same with many of our brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
But that same passage that I just read from Out of Ammo, Louis Alessio, bro, those two gentlemen called him out of the freaking blue, bro. And bro, like, you know, man, Louis, and now you writing books, you sharing your story.
Following
Man,
God's
like,
plan.
bro, like, like you, man.
What a testament.
Oh my goodness, bro.
And Louis, we ain't just saying these things to you, bro, you know, to make you feel good.
I know.
We are saying this stuff because we want to make sure people know how valued they are, how greatly you have impacted so many lives, and your willingness to shield, you know, get rid of the shield, put the armor to the side, and tell somebody this is what I went through, because I don't want you guys to go down the same path of destruction that I was headed on.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think one of the answers to some of the issues is something I call care culture. Creating an environment of care culture, compassion, appreciation, respect, and empathy. And Louis, you touched on all of those things in the opening. When you talked about the lack of empathy, not being able to engage in dual perspective, you know, realizing your actions, how your son responded to some adversity, and it made sense to you that, wow, I have created a culture for my own kids that's the opposite of compassion, appreciation, respect, and empathy.
Yep. Absolutely.
Man. And for those of y'all don't know it, I don't know if y'all know this. Remember JJ did tie buckle. You know they added the E, that last E on the end of buckle, and it's empathy. The Marine Corps has actually officially done that.
Really?
So it's JJ, it's 15 leadership traits now. And empathy is the last one. Buckle E or whatever you want to call it. But that's
E.
official.
That's right. That's dope.
So it's true. So the last one after enthusiasm or endurance, whichever one you want to put in there, that third E is empathy, man. And empathy is God's voice telling you how to respond.
Yeah, and that perspective about how to be empathetic and caring towards people oftentimes gets mixed with being soft or loving on, you know, letting people get away with stuff. But no, I love you so much that I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm going to hold you to a standard.
Tough love, man.
Yeah, and it don't have to be nasty. You know, when you generally are tough on them in the same way, Louis, that you just talked about Robbie and Ross.
Yeah.
You knew they were being hard on you because they cared about you so much and they wanted to see you succeed, but you had to trust the process.
And then you did it again with Clay and Nixon.
There it is.
Yeah. And that's what warms my heart, because I never even heard these stories after I left. You know what I mean? Bro. I knew you were successful. I knew when I saw you in Bahrain, you looked great, and you actually HB'd a bunch of stuff and hooked me up. Louis, I replaced Louis in Bahrain. Let me throw this out here. I was going to Bahrain 2013. Was it 13 or 12?
It was it was 13.
2013, I was going to Bahrain, my second to last deployment. And guess who's relieving, who I'm relieving, and who's doing the rip? I got Louis can. He hooked me up. Louis, this is the best deployment I ever been on, creature comfort wise. Louis got me a refrigerator, a whole bunch of poncho liners, a mattress, all kinds of stuff. Filled the refrigerator up, maybe
a recliner in there,
a big recliner, a big gear locker full of Band-Aids and deodorant and all kinds of stuff. Man. So what amazing, man. It's just been amazing watching this, man, watching everybody grow, and to be sitting here half a century in, pretty much all of us. Happy birthday again, Neil. But
yes, sir.
Coach Clay, officially, but happy birthday, man. But we're all half a century in almost, man. And just to be sitting here 24, 25, 23 years later, man, looking y'all in the eyes, I just want to say I love you and thank you, man. Thank you for the same way you feel about me and Ross. It's the same way Clay and Nixon feel about you, brother.
Yeah,
that's the triple. And that's what we're talking about. We train hats down here, by the way. That's right, what we meant by that. We didn't mean slide them a canteen and starve them and all that other stuff.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly right. Man, we're about over an hour into it, and I know we could go on because the things that we're sharing and the seriousness in which we take our mission, I don't know who it's going to impact, but I know it's going to impact somebody.
Yes.
And I believe that. And that's why we felt the need to start doing this type of stuff, because we do need to see this type of energy, this type of love and brotherhood that eclipses ethnicity, it eclipses gender, it eclipses religious preference.
No.
It don't matter. We are here for each other, and we're trying to put that positive energy out in the world because that's just who we are.
That's right.
And we just happen to work together in some aspect 25, 30 years ago, you know what I mean? And then it has birthed this, which is so phenomenal to me. These conversations are giving me life, man. I'll be honest with you.
Me too.
Yeah, me too, bro. It says right here. So there I was, out of ammo. Is a testament to a simple life-altering truth. God can remake any man who's willing to surrender.
Oh.
God can remake any man who is willing to surrender.
Wow.
He wastes nothing. Not the sin, not the suffering, and certainly not the soldier who feels he has nothing left to give. Man, that's you in a nutshell, Luke. That's me. That's many of us, bro. That's all of us. So, man, I Lou, man, to share this moment with you, I just really thank you, brother. 100, man. This is what we call a working document right here, bro. Like this ain't just to read it once and just put it down, bro. Because I can flip it anywhere and I see the reflection of God Almighty. You know what I'm saying? And every time every time I choose the good, even if imperfectly, I felt the old man lose a little more ground. I felt the new man take one more breath and resist the urge to spike the ball in the old man's face.
Man.
I love it, dog. Oh, I love it. This is dope, bro. Your chapter in Born to Risk, same thing, bro. Like you wanted chapter 30, man. Why did you want chapter 30, Luke?
Hey, real quick, fellas, I gotta run.
Yeah, man.
I know we wrapping it up. Again, Louis, thank you, my brother.
Oh, thank you, Stu.
This was amazing, man. I love you. I love your passion for what you're doing, the work you're doing.
Yeah.
Great to call you. Great to call you friend.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
God bless you, Stu.
God bless you.
I'm out. And I'll
love
see
you,
I'll see the rest T.O. Robbie. I'll see y'all tomorrow night.
Absolutely, brother.
For another action-packed conversation.
Yes. Big Mo in the house tomorrow night. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Big Mo.
Love you, bro.
Love you, bro.
Yeah, Louis, man. Why did you take chapter 30, Louis? Before we get up out of here, bro.
Because my ego would have wanted one of the first chapters.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'll just take give me the last chapter.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be Taylor and Charlie.
Man, save the best for last.
I'm glad you did, bro. Because it's a landmark. You know what I mean? Man. You're a special individual, bro.
You are
100%, dog. And I just thank you, man. I love you, dog. And just to see your smiling face, like Robbie said earlier, man, to see your smiling face, and you're doing big things, bro. And I know you're gonna continue. Every accomplishment, man. Dog, we're there with you, bro. You know, and if there's anything we can do, if we can come up to Ohio, man, and be there with you, man, when you hitting these certain landmarks, you know we'll be there, bro. And
yes,
man,
sir.
it's a beautiful thing, dog. And I ask you, man, something that I know you already do. Continue, bro, to keep me and my family in prayer.
Yes, sir.
Oh, absolutely.
Please.
Always. All you guys, always.
Yeah, man.
Man, it's amazing.
Listen,
man,
fellas, it's a wrap for the night. We thank everybody that rocked with us tonight. Please share this out, man. Go back, look at it. Even if you just skim through, man, wherever you stop, there's going to be nuggets. There's going to be situations that's talked about, man, that, God had his hand all in it. And you can't go wrong, man. You can't go wrong. And as you see across the bottom of the screen, man, if you want to get your hands on this, you want to get, one of the most amazing books out there, bro. Hit up Lou. He's outside. He's online. Hey, man, it's a great read. Contact either one of us, man. We'll get it to you.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank
bro.
you for that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, man. Love you all out there. As we always say about it, peace.
Peace.